Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning life and managing money. We are still in the middle of Vlogmas, and today I'm going to be setting up my budget planner. This is going to be the first beginning pages of my budget planner. If you've been following along in this series, then you know I have been just going from tab to tab within my planner in order to help me set it up and get ready for a brand new year. So as soon as you open up to my budget section, the very first page I have here is my budget categories. I don't believe I'm making any major changes to my budget categories for 2023, so we're just going to flip over to the very next page. The very next page is my goals, my money routine, and then we have the yearly finance overview, bills. So this is bills and subscriptions. I mainly track my subscriptions here. We have the debt reduction reminder or the tracker, the debt snowball tracker, yearly savings, and then we start going into our savings tracker. So I have 3 savings trackers here, and then I have 5 jars. So we're going to be setting up all of these pages, and we're going to start off with my goals sheet. So I usually have the same type of goals every single year. They will be revolving around my savings and my debt reduction. So we're going to keep around the same goals each year. So let's talk through the ones that I set up. The first goal is going to be around my emergency fund. The balance in our emergency fund was $20,000. It dropped down to $15,000 when we had to take out $5,000 for certain repairs. I do want to beef it back up and get it back up to $25,000. So in order to do that, we would have to add $10,000. The second goal that I have is to add $6,000 into our Roth IRA, which is $500 per month. The next goal is to add $6,000 for sinking funds, and I'm going to set up my sinking funds for 2023. I believe we're going to have about 5 or 6. We need to purchase a new car. I do need to set aside money for repairs. We're gonna have one for events. And I believe we are looking at getting a pet this year. So I'm going to set aside money for a pet fund. And I believe I'm going to increase payroll to $6,000 per month. And right now it's at $5,000. So my goal is to give myself a raise and increase it to $6,000 per month. And that would be a breakdown of $3,000 for fixed expenses and $3,000 for variable expenses. Okay, so those are my goals for 2023. These are around the same type of goals that I will set every single year. So I'm going to leave that there. The next thing we're going to fill out is my money routine. And every single day I want to check my transactions. I'm gonna compare it to my weekly budget. Every single week I wanna set a new budget. We're gonna pay bills and set up my cash envelopes, and then monthly we're going to set a new monthly budget. And every single month I want to save money, set aside money for the Roth IRA, and set up my sinking funds on a monthly basis and set money aside for that as well. And then each quarter I have to pay taxes. So on a quarterly basis, we're going to pay taxes, review the sinking funds, and review the spreadsheet. That's this particular finance overview that I have here. As you can see, it is set up for the quarter. So I can write in January, February, March, what's the starting balances, what's my income, expenses, savings, and debt, and then set up the ending balance there. So we're going to fill out that every single quarter, and then annually setting up a new budget planner and a new spreadsheet. And we're going to close it out with a finance overview. So this is my money routine. It is the exact same routine that I had last year. Nothing is changing because it's definitely working for me and it's helping us stay on top of all of the finance things that we have to do. The next page that I am going to set up, I don't have to do this one yet because this is the yearly finance overview. So once we start in January, I can start setting this one up, but I use this one as I need to. But the next page I have is my bills and subscriptions tracker. So I'm gonna start off on the monthly and add in the different subscriptions that we have. So we have Netflix. This one comes out on the 4th and it is $21.83. Actually, just realized I put that in the wrong spot. This one should be an annual subscription. So put this one up here, Barnes and Noble. This one is $25 and it's going to be on 12/7. This is YouTube Premium. Okay, so I've added all of my subscriptions down here. I also have my annual ones up here. I don't have any quarterly subscriptions, but I do believe I'm going to switch over some of these. A couple of these I realized should be a business subscription instead of a personal one. So Canva, I'm going to remove that one and make that a business subscription. Repost also, these are social media things that I use. So I am going to move those over as well. InShot as well. So I'm just kind of reminding myself to move these over to business expenses. So I believe I'm going to add in another section in my budget planner that's another separate section just for business. So that way I can keep track of my business expenses on that budget planner and keep my personal ones in this one. So let's add up all of the subscriptions for my personal budget planner. So I'm not going to include the highlighted ones because I know I'm going to move those expenses over. So we currently have $167.73 for my subscription. So I'm just putting it down here for now so that I know that that's how much I need to have in my budget for subscriptions every single month. And my annual ones, I don't usually add that within my budget because I will set that aside in my sinking funds. So the next page I am going to do is my debt reduction tracker. The main debt that I want to pay off this year is the IRS. We have an older bill that we have with the IRS and it is $12,000. So this is the one that I really want to focus on and get out of the way this year. So I've added that at the top because we currently don't have any credit card balances or any credit card that we have to pay. We're saving up for another car, but we don't have any car debt or anything like that. We only have the student loans, the house, and the IRS. So this is the one that I'm going to focus on paying off for the year. So every single month I will just keep track of what the balance is of this particular amount. So then that way I can just make sure we are headed in the right direction. Same thing over here with my debt snowball. I am going to keep track of my IRS payments, like the payment that I've made for a particular month and how much I've reduced it by and what's the new balance here. So we're going to add in January and we'll put IRS at the top here and the starting balance. And then when I make my January payment, I'll put it here and then keep track of the new balance here. And then any additional debt that we may get throughout the year, I know we're planning on purchasing a car, so that may go in here as well. And I'm just gonna keep track of anything that I am paying down. But I currently don't have any other debt that I'm really working on, so we're just gonna keep the rest of these blank for now. And we're going to move over to my annual savings. So currently, my emergency fund is what I'm going to keep track here, and the beginning balance in the emergency fund is $15,000. And like I said, my goal is to get this to $25,000 by the end of 2023. So I would just keep track of how much I am saving within this account. Now, this is the main account that I will keep track of. I know that it is not my total savings because I also do have my sinking funds and I have my month ahead account that also has additional money in it. But I like to keep track of this one because this is the big account that I really want to stay on top of. And for my savings trackers, this is where I'm going to keep track of all of those other accounts that I just mentioned. Any account that I take money in and out of, for instance, I will do it for travel, and we're going to save $3,000 for travel for 2023. Currently, I don't have anything in there, or I won't, because I am preparing for us to take a trip at the end of this month. So I am planning that we will probably use that money for this particular trip, and I'll be starting from scratch in January. But I do want to have $3,000 in this account by 12/23. The next savings tracker I have in here is for a new car, and I would like to have about $5,000 just saved for this. The starting balance in this one, I started a little while ago. So I'm looking in my capital account. This is where I'm currently saving, and I have $475 saved for that. And I'm not exactly sure when we are going to purchase a car. I'm not in a rush, to be honest. So we will see. The third tracker I'm going to use for repairs. The goal is to have $3,000 set aside for repairs. Currently, we don't have any. The goal is to have this by July 2023. And for my savings jars, the first one we're gonna do is our Roth IRA, and the amount that is needed is $6,000, starting balance 0. And we want to have this by 12/2023. The second repair is going to be, this is going to be pool repairs for this savings jar. Now this is separate and apart from the other repairs because I know I just kind of keep a running balance of my other repairs that I need. But for specifically for the pool, I know we're going to have to get it replastered and a bunch of things done. So I'm doing $4,000 for this one, and we don't currently have anything in there. And I'm gonna talk to my husband about the date because I know we're gonna need it before the summer. The third savings jar is going to be for pet, and I'm saving $2,500 to get a pet. Me and my husband have been talking about getting a pet for our daughter. She really wants one, so we're taking the conversation a little bit more seriously since she's getting a little bit older. So I want to start setting aside some money for that particular thing because I know I'm going to have to get pet insurance and grooming and training and all of the things. So I'm setting up so I can get ready for that. And I believe that's going to be it. Oh, and I also need to do our emergency fund. Amount I want is 25. We're currently at 15, and we want to have that by the end of 2023. And that's going to be it for my setup. I do have another jar here just in case something else comes up throughout the year. I can add that on, but we have my emergency fund, the pet fund, which each one of these have a goal. So that's 25,000, 2,500, 4,000, 6,000. And then we have repairs where I can keep track of what repairs we do for the year. I can keep track of how much we're saving for the new car and any expenses that we have for the car. So I should put new car and car repairs because this is mainly home repairs. And I do like to keep track of what happens throughout the year so I can make sure that I have that there. And then this will be travel and events so that I can keep up with how much we're spending on travel and different events. We set up my yearly savings so I can keep up with how much I'm saving every single month. Debt snowball tracker, debt reduction tracker, which I'm going to be focused on paying off the IRS this year. I have my subscriptions set up, my yearly finance, and then I have my goals. Now, I didn't put my debt reduction goal, but let's put that one in here as well. Reduce IRS debt to zero. And that's it for my budget planner beginning pages set up. So we will continue on within my budget planner on tomorrow. I'm going to share with you my expense spreadsheet that I use to set up for 2023, and then we're going to get into how I set up the actual months within my budget planner so that we can start paying all the bills and have everything that we need to meet these particular goals. So that's going to be in tomorrow's video, and I will see you guys then. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye guys.